So the Eagles are trailing right now with a 20-6 game here. Eagles coming onto the field to start off their second half. They're coming out of their Eagle over there and coming onto the field. There you can see them leaving their Eagle. They're getting ready to kick off this second half. They will be receiving the ball here in the second half as they selected to defer the ball here in the first. So we get ready to go here with a 20-6 game right now. And you can see the Cougars there in their gold and blue. So Cougars there in their gold and blue. They're ready to start off second half here. Action by district playoff action between the Edinburg Cougars and the Eaglepass Eagles. 20-6 score here. Nathan Menchaca here. Right here by my side is Kevin Nato. Kevin, what did you think about that halftime performance between those two bands?
Well, first off, I'm back up here in the press box. Went down there to check out both bands. Really, both bands perform really well, but I want to get into the football aspect of this. We're about to get into the second half. And this Edinburg North team really came out to play defensively, only allowing 6 points in that first half. And Matt Whitesides had himself a rather okay first half. And I'm saying okay because I'm looking for him to play a big factor in the second half for the Edinburg North offense. As for the defense of Eaglepass, they really got their work cut out for them. They allowed 20 points, which is their average. They're averaging their defense is averaging 21 points per game, but their offense will get the football for the first time in this second half. So if you're the Eagles, you got to, again, sustain a drive, keep their defense on the field, and put up some points. They only trail 20-6 here as we kick things off in the second half. You're tuning into ValleyCentral.com, Edinburg North, and the Eaglepass Eagles, a mutual site here in Alice, Texas at Memorial Stadium. Rather muggy night by district round. The Cougars kicking this one off from right to left. So Edinburg North getting set to kick this one off, and we're underway here in the second half from Alice, Texas, and the Eagles are going to let this one bounce out of the end zone, so they'll take over at the 25. Chiswick will come back out as their quarterback. He had himself a stellar first half, only spotting 6 points. From him to Kevin Chiswick, his wide receiver, 11 yards out. That's the only score the Eagles were able to post up.
That's right, Kevin. Taking a look at these two teams, they've both been able to score here in the first half of play, and that's very important. If you're the Eagles right now, you're down, but it doesn't mean you're out.
Eagles with the football. First play of the second half, and it's a run up the left hash and a good pickup there on the ground for the Eagles right out of the gate to the 32-yard line. That's where they officially spot this one.
So a nice run there. You get a couple of yards, and you're closer to that first down.
Venegas on the carry, picks up 7, so that'll make it a 2nd and 3 coming up. Another design quarterback run from Chiswick, trying to bounce it to the outside. Drug down, met back at the line of scrimmage. It's just shy of the first down marker there, Nathan. So a third and short coming up for the Eagle offense.
Well, it's like you said, Kevin, it's a third and manageable. It's very manageable for them to get down to that first down here. 11 minutes to play here in the third quarter.
So a 3rd and 1 coming up for the Eagles. They're going from left to right, 2-back set, 2 receivers to the left, 1 lone receiver to the right, and a quarterback keeper trying to bounce to the outside. Chiswick looks like he may have been able to pick up the first down. We'll see where they spot this one.
And they will move the chains, Kevin, and that will bring up a first down here for the Eagles with their first possession coming back from halftime. So if you're the Eagles, right now you're doing exactly what has to be done.
So a 1st and 10 picked up by the Eagles. You're tuning in to ValleyCentral.com, 2013 by-district round of the playoffs. Out of the gun is Chiswick. Handoff, it's Villegas. A couple yards there, maybe one, if anything.
28 stopped him there for the Eagles, so 28 sort of held off the defenders there for the Cougars.
So the score is 20-6. Edinburg North is holding on to that lead. Their defense is looking to come up with another stop here. Meanwhile, the Eagles looking to get on the board and cut their deficit. Flags come flying in. Looks like it's going to be against the offense. They were lining up with three receivers to the right, one lone receiver to the left. So it's going to be an illegal motion. This one's going to go against Eaglepass, so that'll back him up another 5 yards.
So you lose 5 yards, and you bring up a 2nd and 15. What does that mean for the Eagles here, Kevin?
Well, now they really have to dig deep into their playbook and try and muster up to pick up a first down. They're facing a long 2nd and 15 coming up. They really got to maintain a good drive here if they want to stay alive in this ball game. 15 yards, been able to pick up the first down. Swing pass, and that pass, big hit from Quintero. That pass fell incomplete. Quintero really laying the wood there for the Cougar defense.
And that will bring up a 3rd and 15 now, Kevin. So a 3rd and long. That's not unusual here in this game. Eagles and Cougars have both had this situation, and they've both been able to come up with first downs. So anything is possible here.
3rd and 15 coming up for the Eagles, looking to convert and pick up a much-needed first down well in their own territory. Pump fakes to his right, steps up, flushed out to his left, still on his feet. Chase from behind, fires. This pass is up in the air and well out of bounds. Incomplete pass. Edinburg North comes up with a stop. So it'll be a 4th and 15 coming up with 9:43 in the 3rd quarter.
So you're forced to punt off this ball coming back from the 2nd quarter and halftime. That's not what you want to be doing right now if you're the Eagles.
So Michael Cantu, one of the men back to refield this punt for Edinburg North. Low punt there, and this will be good starting field position for the Edinburg North Cougars. Looks at balls at the 46-yard line, but it's on the Eagle side of the field. So Edinburg North is going to have terrific field position to start this second half.
That's right, Kevin. Taking a look at these two teams, Cougars have been able to get some nice points up here on the board and take the lead. And right now, I'd say the best thing that they can do is probably try and run out as much time on this clock as they can and get another score up there.
Edinburg North looking to put the nail in the coffin here. Hand off to, that looks like Adrian Alvarez, able to pick up a yard or two wide sides. Checks back into the game. So the table's been set already, Nathan. The winner here will face off against Harlingen South, who won decisively earlier today. So it'll be a tough task for either team. This game's still not over yet. So Guerrero is out of the gun, who scored in that late in that 2nd quarter to add to the lead. 4 receivers set for the Cougars. One back to the left, that's Whiteside. He steps up, picks up the blitz, but Guerrero flushed out to his right, fires. This pass heads into the Eagles' sideline. That pass falls well incomplete. Whitesides, if you were paying any attention on that play there, he was able to pick up the blitz and buy his quarterback a little bit of time there, Nathan.
That's right. Looking at that, Kevin, they were able to get the quarterback running backwards. Looked like he would get sacked, but he was able to come up with taking that one and throwing it away. It's not something you want to do because that's where interceptions come from, but it's something he had to do.
So 3rd and 8 coming up. Cougars with the football. Guerrero fires, intercepted by the Eagles, crossing midfield, 40, down to the 35, 25, 20. He's going to score. Pick 6. End zone touchdown, Eagles. He was looking for Matt Ramirez, and that pass was intercepted by the Eagles all the way into the end zone. 55-yard interception for a touchdown. That was Kevin Chisholm who scored both touchdowns for the Eagles, a pick six. Eagles are back in this football game.
And he just read that play perfect, Kevin. That's exactly what you got to do right now if you're the Eagles. They're still down, but this could make it a 13-20 game. Right now it's a 12-20 game.
And now a timeout's called. Now, you've been bringing that question up, Nathan. Will they go for two, or they elect to kick the extra point? Now it gets very interesting. Again, you're still early in the second half. Edinburg North leads 20-13. Now, do you go for two to make it, a 20-14 game, or do you just stick with it and make it 20-13?
Well, Kevin, looking at it, both of these teams have a nice running offense and a throwing offense. Could you get two? You possibly could. Would you want to go for two? This early in the second half, I'm not, if you were the coach, I'm not sure that you would exactly decide to go for two. Because you still have a lot of time to make up for that, and if you do miss that, then you're going to be down by two instead of one.
You're exactly right. There's still plenty of ball game left, but then again, when you pounce on a team like this, you want to keep that train rolling. But now it looks like Eaglepass will elect to kick the extra point. The kicker is in there. So Gonzalez is the holder. The extra point is up, and it is good. So it's a 20-13 Cougar lead, but the Eagles get a pick six with 8:41 left in the third quarter, and a big swing of events here in Alice, Texas. Nathan, walk us through that drive there for Edinburg North.
Looking at it, it all started off with a nice defensive play done there by the Eagles. They simply read a offensive throw that the quarterback had to do quickly. He threw that one off. His receivers were able to get nice yardage, and they had defenders back there ready to stop them, ready to hit the defender, ready to hit the offense. But when they looked at it, they saw that they would be better off getting an interception. They were able to do so, and that's where these points came up on this board. After that interception, he was able to run it back all the way, and that's exactly what happened here, Kevin.
Yeah, that interception, it's two already for Alex Guerrero. The first one came in the first quarter on that first drive, but the defense for Edinburg North was able to save their offense for now. But this time it's really proved them costly, as the Eagles have now found a breath of life here with Edinburg North. Their offense heading back out on the field. And again, they got to feed Matt Whitesides the football. I've said he's their engine for this offense. And as this offense, as Whitesides goes, this offense goes. I've said it, and I'll say it again. They need to get back to what they do best, and that's running the football.
With a team like this, you can throw it, you can run it, you can do pretty much just about anything.
Eaglepass kicking this one off to the Cougars. Fielded at the 20-yard line, down to the 24-yard line. He'll be swamped by Eagle defenders, Nathan. So back out comes this offense who just threw a pick six. They got to get this train rolling again. They cannot sleep on this Eagle team.
That's right. Looking at the Cougars, I think that they'll decide to go with a running play instead of a throwing play and see what they can get off of that because of what happened on that last interception. You'd be safer off going with the running play and seeing if you can get any yardage from that. If you can't, then go back to the sky.
So once again, you're tuning in to valleycentral.com between the Edinburg North Cougars. And there was a penalty, it was like a false start on the kicking team, so they're going to re-kick this football. Edinburg North will get another crack at it on the return game. 8:36 in the third quarter after a pick six. The Eagles trimmed the lead. Edinburg North 20, Eagles 13. We're coming to you live from Alice, Texas. Kevin Otto bringing you the play-by-play, and right by my side is Nathan Menchaca, a student over at Nicky Rowe. Got to work with Nathan earlier this year with the PSJ Bears and the Nicky Rowe Warriors back over in McAllen, Texas earlier in the year. That was a rather good game between PSJ and Nicky Rowe. Justin Owens at the time was really lighting up scoreboards and really wreaking havoc for opposing defenses.
That's true, Kevin. They took him out. They finished it off, and Warriors just were unable to make that cut. And so tonight, all three McAllen schools are now out of the playoffs as Mackay and Memorial lost. Mackay losing last night to Rivetta and Memorial losing tonight to Harlingen.
Edinburg North will take this one out around the 44-yard line. That's where it looks like the Edinburg North Cougars will take over. Alex Guerrero and company heads back out on the field. You're right. No one in the Valley saw that upset coming. An upset for years to come with Brownsville Rivera. Jaquil Evans, who I'd seen a lot this season, really came to play against Kevin Brewer and his Bulldogs. In his first year as a head coach for the Bulldogs, they went undefeated until they lost to McAllen Memorial. We'll get to that after this play. 1st and 10 for Edinburg North. Guerrero out of the shotgun, 4-receiver set. Running back to his right. That's Whiteside's cross midfield. And a good pickup there from the junior running back, Matt Whitesides.
And his offensive backs were able to push him forward and get him to that first down, Kevin. Getting back to that Mackay game that you were talking about, Mackay did lose that game in double overtime as Coach Bill Littleton went for 2, and he was able to finish off the Mackay's undefeated season in that game.
Handoff up the right hash. And again, Whitesides with the carry. And again, this Eagle defense really slowing down the run game. We have a couple of shout-outs. We'll get to those in just a couple of seconds. Fans, you're tuning in to ValleyCentral.com. Cougars and the Eagles is by district matchup. Second down coming up. Trail by 7 here with 7:54 in the third quarter. Cougars with the football after the pickup of 1. It's a 2nd and 9. Guerrero out of the gun, 4-receiver set, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Whitesides to the right, and it'll be a quarterback run up to the right side. And the Eagle defense again, coming up big, making a stop. Shout out to the Olivares family. Lourdes, David, Adrian, Alyssa, and Ashley Olivares tuning in from Edinburg, Texas, listening to their nephew, number 21, Alex Chavez. And a shout out to Galvin Navarro tuning in from Hollywood, California, from out west, listening to his brother Santos Rodriguez, number 18. And Melissa Martin, go Eagles. She's tuning in from Eaglepass. So I want to thank all of you for tuning in to ValleyCentral.com. 3rd and 7 coming up for Edinburg North. Officials will come in. Edinburg North elects to call a timeout. So the Cougars will take a timeout. We'll take a timeout from this game as well. 7:05, third quarter. Cougars 20, Eagles 13. So Nathan, let's go ahead and talk about that monster upset in last night with Brownsville Rivera against the Mackay Bulldogs. Did you see that coming?
From the very beginning of that game, Kevin, I saw a rough game for the Bulldogs. You know, Rivera, they also had their rough points. There was a point after attempt in there that ended up taking about 6 minutes to just get a point after attempt after flag after flag after penalty. And that's how that point after attempt went for Rivera on that during the first quarter. And after that, just all went Rivera's way. They were able to score. They were just able to keep Ricky Rodriguez down to a minimum. And when you're able to keep a great offensive player like Rodriguez down to a minimum of yards, that's how you pull out with the win over such a powerful team like the Bulldogs.
So welcome back to the action. That was Nathan Menchaca breaking down that Mackay upset loss last night to Rivera. Edinburg North facing a 3rd and 7 after the timeout. 4-receiver set. Motion man is Ramirez coming from right to left. Guerrero will fake the quick screen, and he'll be chased from behind, and down he goes. Coverage sack right at midfield. The defense of the Eagles swarmed. Guerrero had nowhere to go. It looked like he wanted to get a fake swing pass to, it was Ramirez, the intended wideout. Then he was looking downfield. So let's go ahead and tip our hat to that secondary of the Eagles.
That's right. Taking a look at that play again, Kevin. Cougars, they did the best that they could. The Eagles just were able to read that play perfectly and take them down to the middle of this field.
The ball's right at midfield. The Cougars will punt this one away from right to left. Now, if you're the defense for Edinburg, punter gets it away. Eagles looking to take this one out at the 15. Chase from behind and down at the 11-yard line, but flags again come flying in. And Nathan, I'm looking up onto the glass here of the press box. Some sprinkles starting to come in.
That's right, Kevin. Sprinkles, it's muggy in here, and just shows you that it's a good night for football here.
We have an updated score from Cat Stadium. Laredo Alexander 21, Edinburg Economides 19. They're in the third quarter over at Cat Stadium. That one also on valleycentral.com.
Very close game over there, Kevin. When you look at an Edinburg team, you look at how strong they are and who is in their district. They have a couple of hard teams over there in their district. They have the Sherryland. We'll get back to that right after this.
Eagles with the football, looking back to pass, has all the time in the world, rolling out to the right in his own end zone, fires, and the pass falls incomplete. You're talking about that district of Sherryland, Edinburg North, the Donna Redskins, Edinburg Economides, the La Jolla Schools, and then Robert Fellows. You're right, it was a pretty tough district this year. And how about those SaberCats? Last year not winning one game at all, and this year really turning it around under head coach Michael Salinas, and really surprised some people. Came in with a couple of points against Donna, against Edinburg Economides, which Edinburg North got wins. They got city champs this year. 2nd and 10 for the Eagles. Trips left, one lone receiver to the right for the Eagles. Ball well in their own territory. Chesick looking back to pass, fires deep down the field, overshoots everybody. Incomplete at the 35. Pass falls incomplete. So now it'll bring up a third down coming up for these Eagles.
Talking about Edinburg, Kevin, not only are their football team strong, but they also have that Vela volleyball team that made it all the way to the area playoff team action against the Mackay Bulldogs. So McAllen has strong volleyball teams. They just had Nikki Rowe that participated in the regional semifinals over at UTPA yesterday. They were unable to pull off with a win on that one, but you know what happens.
Edinburg North's defense coming up big on that last play. Designed quarterback run from Chesick. That play went nowhere, so now the punt team will come out for the Eagles, and the defense of Edinburg North, again, coming up big, really keeping their offense afloat. They've really struggled here to start off this second half. That pick six really brought some life back to these Eagles, but again, the defense stepping up big for the Cougars. Eagles kicking it off, or punting this one away from left to right.
It's a short kick, Kevin, and it looked like it would go out of bounds. Instead, the receiver went after that one. He runs backwards. Oh, you know, I'd go with that was a bad choice by the receiver, Kevin. He had yardage when he went forward. He came back to try and go over on the left side and get some more yardage. Instead, he got taken back for the loss.
Yeah, that was Matt Whitesides on that punt return. He thought he had something going, but then he was just chased from behind. So kind of just looking back at the officials, really upset on that call. And rather, that was Eric Salas on that punt return.
And listening to the Eagle side over there, their fans, you could hear that they got excited on that hit because it was like a moral victory there for their Eagles as they were able to get that loss of yardage on the Cougars.
1st and 10 for Edinburg North. Ball on the 35-yard line. Guerrero out of the gun. Two receivers set. Heavy setback. Alvarez up the right hash. Picks up a couple of yards there. We're going to look at this 5A Division II bracket. The winner here will play against Harlingen South. Then the winner between Edinburg North and Harlingen South will play either San Antonio Reagan or Cibolo Steel, who the Cougars lost to last year in the playoffs against the Cibolo Steel Knights in Kingsville. I had the opportunity to broadcast that game last year in the playoffs. That game was on December 1st. My partner and I were surprised we were still calling games in December. Handoff up the middle. Big hole. Matt Whiteside's breaking into the secondary. 10-5. Chase from behind. Down to the 1 yard line. Matt Whiteside's nearly breaking it into the end zone. Trip from behind. Well, that's what you call a shoelace tackle there.
And you've been calling his name all night long, Kevin, because he's been out there and he's been giving it all he has.
Edinburg North with a hurry up. Whiteside's nearly finding the end zone. Guerrero changing up the play. Heavy setback. And they'll hand it off to Whitesides looking to get in the end zone, and he does. Touchdown, Edinburg North. Whitesides finds the end zone.
Kevin, we talked about that all the first half and the beginning of the second half. I kept bringing that up. Would they go for 2? And now they did, so that will put them on top here. And actually, something happened on that play. They'll have to rerun that play here. So referee's forcing them to rerun this play, Kevin.
Well, no, they're just signaling for the time to get going. I know that can be a little confusing. They're going to be kicking the extra point. Whitesides was able to get into the end zone. So with an extra point, Edinburg North can go up 27-13, and that is the case. The extra point is up, and it's good. Whitesides finds the end zone. Edinburg North 27, Eaglepass 13, 4:20 to go in the third quarter. I'm Kevin Otto. Nathan Menchaca right by my side. And Nathan, on that drive for Edinburg North, what did you see out of that drive from the Cougars?
I saw a nice run right up the middle on that last one that got them into the end zone. Before that, they were just able to get some nice offensive plays, string them together, and eventually they were able to get down to the end zone, score that one, and bring this one back up to a game that is theirs now. Because now, instead of being a matter of a couple of touchdowns, they've made it a matter of a couple more than what it was before.
So Matt Whiteside's found the end zone. Again, I'd like to say he's the X factor for this offense, and Guerrero really orchestrated a nice drive, really answering back after that pick six he threw a couple moments ago. Now Edinburg North has a 27-13 lead over Eaglepass, 4:20 in the third quarter. Eagles looking to get this football back. They'll be going from left to right.
Kevin, I'm looking here, and I've seen this all 4 years that I've been filming football. What is it that the referee and the kicker talk about when they're right there and he has the ball?
You know, that's a good question. You know, I never really played high school football, but I'm just, the curiosity, you got me there. Maybe he's just saying if the ball falls off the tee, because we've seen that before. Football's falling off the tee, and the kickers will, well, what do I do now? And the officials will call a timeout. But that's a good question. I'm not too sure, and I barely see that when the officials will actually go up to a kicker and give him a few words. Edinburg North kicking this one off. And a booming kick. This one will storm out of the end zone, so it'll be a touchback. Cougars not giving him a chance to take this one out. Eaglepass in their offense comes back out. Chiswick, who, like you said, can run the football really well. He'll be back out on the field for his Eagles.
So looking at this number of timeouts left on the field, Kevin, is both teams have 2. So you only have 2 timeouts left here with about a quarter and 1/4 to play here.
27-13, 1st and 10 for Eaglepass. Ball on the 25. Chiswick going from left to right. Trips right, one lone receiver to the left. Looking back to pass, has time. Quick curl route at the 30. Stiff arm down to the 35, down to the 40. Tripped up at the 48-yard line.
And he's taken out of bounds right there, so that will stop the clock, Kevin. That's a nice play. Not only were they able to gain yards, but they were also able to run that one out of bounds and stop the clock.
So they're going to spot this one at the 43. Correction on that last play. They brought him all the way back and probably stepped out of bounds. Stepping into the pocket is Chiswick. Chase from behind back to the line of scrimmage. Edinburg North's defense stepping up. Again, the first man in there was Robert Bettis, ensuing pressure, flushing Chiswick out of the pocket.
That's right, and looking at it, 91 was a key player there for the Cougars. He went in there, he did what had to be done, and he took care of business.
Well, he managed to pick up 2 on that quarterback scramble, so that'll make it a 2nd and 8. 3:38 left here in the third quarter. Cougars up 27-13. Eagles going from left to right. Quick pass complete across midfield. Esquivel, first man in there on the tackle. Gonzalez on the reception there for the Eagles. He's had a busy night for Eaglepass.
And that will bring up a 3rd and manageable, as you like to call them.
So a 3rd and 8 coming up for this Eagle offense, looking to pick up a first down and keep this drive alive and kind of make some sort of comeback here. They'll spread them out wide, 5 receivers set. Eagles stepping up in the pocket, chase from behind, and again the defensive line of Edinburg North starting to take over, and they're starting to win the battle along the trenches. Picks up 2, so it'll make it a 3rd and 6.
Actually, Kevin, they hadn't corrected the scoreboard on that one, and so that one actually became a first down. It was a 3rd and 2 before that, and now it's a 1st and 10 here.
You're right. Apologies. It was a 3rd and 8 indicated on the scoreboard. They were able to pick up a third down conversion there. 1st and 10, right around midfield. They'll stack them up to the wide right. Fires deep down the field. This pass will fall incomplete, and a late hit.
That doesn't look to be the worst of the Eagles' problems here, Kevin. There looks to be a down Eagle. He's still down. We're waiting for him to get back up, and he finally gets back up. You can see that he's a little confused, which means that that hit was a little too hard. Now, a couple of years ago, Kevin, they had a ruling here, and it's still up in the air. Is football too rough in the Rio Grande Valley?
Well, the question, around football in general, is it too rough? And we're going to get the call. It's going to be a personal foul against the secondary of Edinburg North, and that was a late hit. And it's just one of those plays that those penalties that you cannot commit, Nathan. Your defense is playing really well, and you're right. You have to worry about the safety of the players, especially, in this case, it was a hit to a defenseless receiver, as they like to call it. So it'll be an automatic first down for the Eagles. You couldn't have brought up a greater point than that one.
And not only that, Kevin, but taking a look at this, last night they had a play exactly like that one over at the Mackay and Rivetta game, and they actually took out a Rivetta player. They ejected him from the game for targeting a receiver.
Ty Chisholm rushed from behind, fires, but flags coming back for this one, complete. Down to the 14-yard line, but there was a flag on the field. This is going to be an offside. Kevin Chisholm on the reception there. We're seeing a lot of this Chisholm combination. This one's going against Edinburg North. You can tack on another 5 yards.
That is not where you want to be right now if you're the Cougars, Kevin. You do not want to be down by a possible another touchdown right now. You can't afford to give it up. Chopping. So a chopping there and an offside. Penalties will decline on one another.
So the ball will be spotted on the 14-yard line. That's where Kevin Chisholm hauled in that pass. And again, the Eagles knocking on the door, and a slew of penalties again committed by Edinburg North. 2:28 left in this third quarter. Eagles are knocking on the door. Out of the gun is Chisholm. They'll spread them out.
Back for the sign from his coach, Kevin.
3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. And he's going to call his own number design. Quarterback run, but that play goes nowhere. Again, the pursuit of this defensive line for the Cougars.
7 there for the Cougars, Kevin. He was just simply there. He was the middle guy. They met head-to-head, and it didn't even give him much force. He just simply pushed him over, as there were 2 other defenders also on him.
That was Joey Esquivel, their star linebacker, the transfer over from the Sherryland Rattlers. He's a senior this year, came up with a big stop there. Chisholm looking back to pass, has time all day to throw, fires to the left. Did he come down with it? He's out of bounds. They're calling it a touchdown Eagles. That's what the call is right now. Kevin Chisholm, they're going to call it a touchdown, Nathan. That was on the far side of the field from our vantage point up here. Looked as if he was out of bounds. The officials are going to say no. Touchdown, Eagles. Turn of events here again. Kevin Chisholm, his second touchdown or third touchdown of the night. He's having himself a heck of a ball game. Extra point coming up for the Eagles. Folks, we have ourselves a ball game here in Alice, Texas. Extra point coming up. And the extra point is good. Edinburg North 27. Eaglepass 20. It's cut back to a 7-point lead. Nathan, what's going on?
So 1 touchdown lead here for the Cougars. And thinking about it, Kevin, from right here where I'm filming the game, I was able to get a nice vantage point on that touchdown for our viewers. Not only that, but I was able to see that they were actually inbounds when he caught that ball. So you were looking at it and you thought it was out of bounds. I looked at it and I'd say it's inbounds. Referees have the same tough call to make down there. Is it out of bounds or inbounds? And they went ahead and called that one inbounds. And that'll be good for an Eaglepass point. 7 points up on the board, and that will bring it down to a 7-point lead. So 1 touchdown away are the Eagles, with the Cougars to get the ball back with 1:35 to play here in the third quarter. All I can say is if you're the Cougars right now, best thing you can do is maybe hold on to that ball and don't let run the timeout as much as you can.
And again, I'd mentioned they got to get back to that running game that the Edinburg North is known for. And Chisholm, again, he's having himself a heck of a ball game. 2 touchdown receptions and then that pick 6 earlier in this football game. So Edinburg North now has a 27-20 lead. The Eagles rallying back in this one. Cougars will be getting the football back.
Kevin, I'm looking at it, and I'd have to say this looks like an onside kick.
Well, they'll be getting an onside kick, trying to catch the Cougars off guard. And no, they're going to go ahead and kick this one away. It'll be inside the 10. They'll field it at the 5. Crossing the 10. They're going to get some running room and a big hit and good special teams there from Eaglepass. So now Edinburg North, their offense will come back out. They lead by 7, $1:28 left in the third quarter.
That's right. These Cougars, they have the lead by 7 with 1:28 in the third quarter and a fourth quarter coming up. It's a tough place to be right now. You'd rather be up by 2 or 3 touchdowns where you were a couple of minutes ago. But thanks to the Eaglepass Eagles, they've been able to come up here and make this one a rough ball game.
Cougars with the football, 1st and 10. Canedo is out of the gun with a pistol formation set. And it'll be a handoff up. Whiteside's up the middle with another carry. So Whiteside's picking up 6 on that carry.
Looks like it's sort of sprinkling outside, Kevin.
So Guerrero again with that pistol formation look for the Cougars. 2 receivers set, heavy set back for Edinburg North. Final minute of this third quarter. Alvarez this time on the carry, met back at the line of scrimmage. So this Eaglepass defense really stepping up big here in this second half, slowing down the rushing attack. Other than that big run from Whitesides on the previous drive, Nathan, this defense has really stepped up big. So frustration starting to build along the offensive line for Edinburg North. 30 seconds and counting here in the third quarter. Eaglepass trails by 7. Guerrero with the football, handoff up the left hash. Up to the 20-yard line. So that was Whitesides on the carry. Now, so it looks like he'll pick up a first down. Nathan's will be the first down. Edinburg North. Clock stops at 19 seconds, but will start running as soon as the ball's set. So now it looks like Edinburg North will go ahead and let this clock run out, and that looks to be the end of the third quarter.
So let's go ahead and take a look at some college football going on around this state and around.
we'll get to that as soon as we wrap up this third quarter. At the end of the third quarter, Edinburg North 27, Eaglepass 20. Kevin Otto and Nathan Menchaca right by my side. Nathan, you want to give some college updates?
Yeah, let's get to that. We have we have Stanford over at USC. Stanford is down right now with a 7-14 score. We have Alabama ahead of Mississippi in the second, 3-0. Florida and South California having a tough one at a 14-13 game. Texas Tech and Baylor. Texas Tech 27, Baylor 35 in the second. Some finals, Miami, Florida beat Duke. They lost to Duke 30-48. And those are some college scores going on around here in the USA.
So first play of the fourth quarter is just a couple seconds away. Edinburg North with the football, 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Guerrero out of the pistol, handoff to the left side, looking to get into the secondary. Well, that was Adrian Alvarez on the carry. Matt Whitesides checks into the ball game.
That's right, Kevin. He checks in. Not only does he check in, but he's able to show that he's here.
And Edinburg, you're going to meet us. We have an updated score from Cat Stadium. Laredo Alexander 21. Edinburg Economy this 19. They're in the fourth quarter, Nathan. That's a fantastic football game. Fellow school of Edinburg, the brother of Edinburg North, the Jaguars, going at it with Laredo Alexander. 2nd and 7 coming up after the pickup of 3. Whitesides with the carry, trying to bounce it to the outside and does. First down and more, down to the 40-45, tripped up from behind. There he is, folks. Matt Whitesides on the carry for Edinburg North, picks up the first down and more.
And you know what, Kevin, on that play, he actually tricked me a little bit. I thought that the quarterback was going to be keeping that one.
Reina on the tackle for the Eagles. And again, these plays just become bigger and bigger for these Edinburg North Cougars. It's a first down, Edinburg North. So Guerrero with a 2-receiver set. Handoff again up the left hash, crossing midfield is Adrian Alvarez on the carry. So again, you're going to see a lot of Whitesides and a lot of Alvarez. Edinburg North starting to run the football. Guerrero has yet to throw a pass here in the second half.
Kevin, it would be like they heard what we're saying without actually listening to us. I was saying they have to run out this clock, and that's about the best thing they can do right now. Keep time off this clock before you give that ball back to the Eagles after scoring a touchdown or simply giving it back.
2nd and 4 coming up. Edinburg North with a run up the middle and a big run. Huge hole up the left side to the 35. Whitesides finally brought down from behind. Matt Whitesides comes off the field. So again, Nathan, the Edinburg North Cougars really starting to run the football well in this second half is one thing I alluded to in the pregame. You know, they have to run the football in order to be successful, control the TOP, as I like to call it, the time of possession, and that's what they're doing here. The clock's still running at 9:58 and counting. Cougars lead by 7. 1st and 10 coming up. Alvarez handoff to the left side, stiff arm on the far side of the field.
Doesn't look like he got much on that one, Kevin. Maybe half a yard, maybe a little bit less. The defense just read him perfectly. But look at the clock, Kevin. 9:30 to play. They're trying to run time off the clock. Honestly, yes, you're trying to still run plays, but you're trying to get as much time off that clock like I was saying.
Exactly correct there, Nathan. You know, they want to keep this defense, who's already looking a little bit gassed here in the fourth quarter. Edinburg North looking to melt off every second of that game clock. 9:07 left in this game. 2nd and 11. Cougars lead by 7. Guerrero out of the gun. Again, out of that pistol formation. 2 receivers set. And it'll be a handoff to Whitesides. Again, breaking it into the secondary. Stiff arm from Whitesides. All the way down to about the 21-yard line. Matt Whitesides again with the carry.
Perfect play there, Kevin. He ran it forward. He got it right where they needed it at that time. And he got that first down for the Cougars here, right when they needed it their most.
Again, Matt Whiteside's on the carry, really stepping up big here in the second half as this Edinburg rushing attack. 8:48 left in this one. Cougars lead by 7. 1st and 10. Ball on the 21-yard line, and again, they'll run the football. Whitesides with the carry. Tries to get to the outside, but there's nothing doing there.
Looking at it, Kevin, there's not much that you can do there. He looked around. He saw there was nothing else, and he went through the middle. He was able to pick up a couple yards, and that's exactly what a good offensive player does. A good offensive player goes right down the middle if you see nothing else and fight for a couple yards.
So the Cougars will have face a 2nd and 8 after the pickup of 2. Guerrero, Cougars again out of this pistol formation set. They've been at all of the second half. Alvarez again with a carry, trying to break it into the secondary, carrying defenders with him inside the 10. On the far side of the field, he dragged defenders with him all the way down to the 4-yard line. Adrian Alvarez, like a truck in this second half, dragging defenders with him.
Well, it looked like that Mack truck came right through and was right on time. Train station was ready for that train. He came on through and gave them exactly what they needed.
So again, it's starting to get really hard to see through this glass here with it being cold in here and warm outside, so it's a little bit foggy up here in the press box. Guerrero and his Cougars. Ball's on the 4-yard line. Handoff to Whitesides up the left side. And now there's a flags coming in. Looks like it's going to go against Eaglepass. Maybe a taunting call or an unsportsmanlike. So plenty of flags on the field. There's a lot of dirty laundry to go around. Coach Garza is really upset with the officiating crew. He wants an explanation.
And looking at it, Kevin, something that I had never seen before last night's game was that the referee ran out of flags.
Or rather, it's a taunting against Edinburg North, and that's why Enrique Martinez got an earful from head coach Roy Garza. It looked as if both teams were really going at it, but this one's going to go against Edinburg North on a taunting call, and just not a smart penalty there for Edinburg North to commit at this point and this situation. 2nd and 17 coming up for Edinburg North after the penalty. Guerrero handoff, ball's back up to the 17. Whiteside picks up a couple of there. And then now after the whistle, Nathan, now it looks like there's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct against the Eagles.
Well, it's like you said, Kevin. Tensions are high, and this game is a bi-district playoff game, which means both teams want to get to the end. They want this 7.5 minutes of what you would call torture, in other words, because they're in limbo right now trying to figure out who will win this game. 7 points away are the Eagles from the Cougars, and the Cougars would like to get another touchdown on this board so that they can have a 14-point lead with 7 minutes to play.
Eaglepass returning the favor there for Edinburg North, committing a personal foul of their own. So now there's 7:13 left in this ball game. Cougars up 27-20 against the Eagles. Edinburg North knocking on the door, looking to extend their lead. And Whitesides. And that play goes nowhere. And a lot of extracurricular activity, there on both sides. Edinburg North and the Eagles are really starting to go at it. And like I said, it's an emotional football game, and this is a rather quick fourth quarter. There's 6:40 left in this ball game, Nathan. To the Cougars, facing a 2nd and 10, 6:20 left in this ball game.
That's right, Kevin. Looking at these teams, this has been a rough football game on both teams.
Now whistles come in. It looks like the Cougars will go ahead and take a timeout. So 6:11 left in this one. Edinburg North 27, Eaglepass 20. I'm Kevin Noddle, Nathan Menchaca right by my side, folks, and you're tuning in to ValleyCentral.com 2013 by district matchup. Nathan, if you're the Eagles defensively, what do you do here?
That's hard to say, Kevin. You're taunting each other. You're having late hits, and that's not what you need right now. You just got to keep those flags off the play, and you got to work the best that you can at the quickest speed that you have. And talking about something about the Cougars here, Kevin, on the way up here to Alice, I was driving by a Stripes, and I saw all the Cougar cars lined up with the car paint saying, "Go Cougars, we love you," and all that emotional ties here to this game. So it's good to see that even though this game is about 200 miles away from home, all these teams still came out to support their players.
So after the timeout, Edinburg North is back out onto the field. 6:11 left in this one. Guerrero again out of the pistol formation. Motion man split out wide. Guerrero's going to call his own number here. Designed quarterback run. If anything, it gets back to the line of scrimmage, which would be at the 10-yard line.
It's a rough game here, Kevin. Not that many decisions. You got to make something happen out of nothing.
So it's a 3rd and 10 coming up, and a big 3rd down coming up for these Edinburg North Cougars. Then it would be decision time for head coach Roy Garza.
And as you said, they're knocking on their door. Eaglepass is knocking on the Cougars' door here, saying, "Let me in. Give me the win here."
So now it looks like a timeout's taken on the field. So now, Edinburg North is in a really big spot here, facing a 3rd and 10. They really have to convert here. That way you don't have the discussion whether you go for the field goal or you go for it on 4th down. But I think in this case here, you're in the playoffs, 5:28 left in this one. You got to take the points. You got to kick the field goal to go up, make it a 2-possession game rather than a 1-possession game. But then again, we don't know what's going through the mind of the coaches of Edinburg North. But again, this is all in the equation of if Edinburg North doesn't convert here on 3rd down, if they do convert on 3rd down, throw all those scenarios out the window, and you can just say, burn out that clock.
That's right, Kevin. Not only that, but looking here, if you're a coach right now, you have to make the right decision, because this is the point where if you make the wrong one, like you were saying, then you're going to be forced to either kick a field goal, because a punt in this situation wouldn't do you much good, Kevin. They'll get it back on the 20, and so you'd be better off trying for a field goal.
So the Cougars facing a 3rd and 10. Alex Guerrero out of the shotgun, no pistol formation this time. Cougars will spread them out wide. 4 receivers set, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Guerrero looking back to pass. Here comes the blitz. Guerrero flushed out to the right, chased from behind, has nowhere to go. Down he goes at the 11-yard line, Nathan. Hossa came flying in on the blitz for Eaglepass, and a huge play defensively there for the Eagles, a coverage sack.
That's right, Kevin, and that brings up what we were talking about. Do you do a field goal? Well, what other options do you really have right now, Kevin?
Well,
the ball is here on your 15-yard line, and you're thinking about it. If you kick a punt, and they're actually going to kick that field goal that we were talking about right now, Kevin.
Yeah, and again, it's a smart call for Edinburg North. They got to put points up on this board. Huge field goal attempt for Edinburg North. They could make it a two-possession game here. 4:36 left in this ball game. 28-yard field goal. Snaps up, kicks away, and it is no good. Wide right, so the Cougars missed the field goal, and the Eagles well alive in this football game. Trail by 7 with 4:24 to go. Fans, hold on tight because this is going to be one to the finish. Eagles will take over. They trail by 7 after the missed field goal by Edinburg North.
Kevin, I think I see OT written on this game.
Yeah, well, they got like a 4-minute drill for the Eagles. Plenty of time to drive this football down the field.
And as we saw, it's plenty of time for the Cougars to come right back on them.
Chisholm out of the gun. 3 receivers set. Chisholm's going to step back. He's going to fire this one complete at the 25. Pettis on the reception.
And the clock will keep running. So a little over 4:10 to play here. And the clock is running, Kevin.
So Pettis on that reception. And Chesick with a 3 receiver set to the right, 1 lone receiver to the left. Looking back to pass, fires, that pass is up. Incomplete tip drill, nearly intercepted by Edinburg North.
And if you're Edinburg North, that's what you need right now. You need an interception. You need something to start going your way.
And now it's a huge 3rd and 5 coming up for Eagles, for the Eaglepass. .346 left in this one. Eagles facing a 3rd and 5. Ball on the 24-yard line. Chisholm is out of the shotgun. Fires, passes up, incomplete. Brings up a 4th and 5.
Kevin, you're forced to go for it here. What would you do? Punt off the ball or go try it?
Well, it looks like the offense is going to stay on the field, and they really don't have a choice here. They're going to have to go for it. They have 2 timeouts and 3:41 left in this ball game. They're going to have to go for it here.
This would be considered a Hail Mary in a sort of way when you're down to 3:41 to play and 4th and 5. Timeout called here. And that will take off both teams from the field. 3:41 to play. Cougars have 27, and the Eaglepass Eagles have 20. What are you thinking right now if you're the Eagles?
Well, their first priority is to pick up a first down. This is almost it here for Eaglepass. They took one of their 2 timeouts remaining, so they have 1 timeout in their back pocket, facing a huge 4th and 5 coming up with 3:41 left in this one.
That's right, Kevin. I'm looking at these guys, and you can see that this is a hard decision to make if you're either side of this coin. Whether you're the Eagles or whether you're the Cougars, right now will be a marking point in your playoff season. It's a first round here of playoffs, the bi-district playoff round.
So this could be the ball game. 4th and 5 coming up for the Eagles. 3 receivers to the right. Chiswick out of the shotgun, looking back to pass. Quick curl route complete at the 30. And he's taken out of bounds at the 32-yard line. So it'll be a first down. So a sigh of relief there for the Eagle fans. They pick up the first down. Clock stops at 3:33.
So like you said, Kevin, sign of relief for the Eagle fans. What does it mean for the Cougar fans here?
Well, they're on their toes right now. 1st and 10. On the move are the Eagles. Rolling out to the right is Chiswick. Fires back across the field. Ball's up. Dangerous throw. Pettis on the reception. But a big tackle there from the defensive back of Edinburg North. That was Roy Cantu sniffing that play out.
You don't get a gain of much on that, Kevin. And in addition to that, the clock is still running. 3 minutes of play here, Kevin. With that clock running, the Eagles have a 2nd and 9. This is a tempting time for both teams.
2:48 left in this one. Eaglepass fires. That pass is complete. Incomplete. They're going to say fumbled the football. Cougars have the ball. Cougars fall on the loose football, and the defense steps up big.
With 2:42 to play here, Kevin, Cougars land on that ball. What does that mean here? It possibly means this ball game is done.
Just about done. One timeout left for the Eagles. 2:42. Edinburg North's defense stepping up big. Game-changing play, possibly game-clinching play for the quote-unquote wrecking crew of Edinburg North. They take over at the 45-yard line. Guerrero pistol formation. Guerrero will be a handoff to Whitesides, trying to bounce it to the outside, crossing the 40, 35, down the sideline to the 30-yard line. Matt Whitesides nearly breaking it into the secondary. A big pickup there for Whitesides.
And they force him to run out of bounds, Kevin. So you run out of bounds, you get the first down, and there's 2:34 to play here. Well, that brings up a hard decision. Do you keep running this ball? Do you throw this ball and see if you can get another touchdown here? I think they're better off keeping it on the ground.
Yeah, this is an obvious running situation here, especially with Eaglepass only having one timeout in their back pocket. And Edinburg North, remember, it's still a one-possession game, so Edinburg North is going to have to do what they do best, and that's run this football. 1st and 10 coming up. Alvarez running with a big hole up the middle. Alvarez down the sideline, crossing the 20 to the 15. Moving, cut move, juke, hello, touchdown, no. They're going to say he was out at the, 5-yard line. The officials are saying no score. Everyone was celebrating, saying Edinburg North touchdown. There's a gaping hole for Adrian Alvarez, who we all thought here in the press box thought he scored a touchdown, but the officials thought otherwise. He may have put a toe on the out-of-bounds side on the far side of the field. Close call there, but then again, there was a flag on the field.
2:23 to play here.
So craziness here in the final minutes, which it looked like it would have been a touchdown for all of us. It doesn't matter. Even though if he did score the touchdown, it's wiped away with a penalty, so no score. Penalty again against Edinburg North.
And we've seen a lot of dirty laundry out here on the field tonight, Kevin.
Yeah, a lot of penalties, most of them going against Edinburg North. And, if you're in the playoffs this late in the season, you can't be committing as many penalties as Edinburg North is committing tonight. So now the penalty, yes, is it against Edinburg North? The official just made the call a chop block, what it's going to be. Now, here's an interesting thing. Eaglepass is going to elect to call their final timeout. 2:23 left in this one. Edinburg North 27, Eaglepass 20. I'm Kevin Otto. Nathan Menchaca here to my right, and we've been treated to a fantastic football game here in Alice, Texas. And, like Coach Sainz said, I was talking to him before the game. I said, well, Coach, it's almost like a district game, because he said we know what they can do and they know what we can do. They played against each other last year in the bi-district round at the Alamo Dome, and I said Edinburg North escaped with a 21-14 win. And, a lot of the Cougars said it was a close game. That's a very tough team over from Eaglepass. So after the Eagles' timeout, mind you, that was their last timeout. Neither teams have timeouts. Edinburg North is going from left to right. They lead by 7. 2:23 left in this ball game. So Guerrero again out of a pistol formation. High snap, able to bring it to Whitesides, leaping To the 23-yard line. That's where Whitesides will be drugged down.
2:10 to play here, Kevin. There's no 2-minute mark like in NCAA or in the NFL. Here, the clock just keeps running even after 2 minutes. So with that, we're down to 1:55.
Exactly, 1:55 and counting. Edinburg North with the football. The Eagles are all out of timeouts. They're facing a 2nd and 6. They're going to need a turnover here. That's their only hope. And Whiteside, or Alvarez rather, slips and falls, trying to just melt down the clock.
And we were talking about it from the very beginning of this game, Kevin. This is actual grass, not artificial turf. So this grass has been soaking in all the humidity all night long. That's a second slip we see of tonight.
Okay, so now this brings up a 3rd and 8. Now the question is for Edinburg North, are they in 4-down territory? But then again for the Eagles, you kind of wish you had a timeout in your back pocket, but that's not the case here. Edinburg North facing a 3rd and 8. Hand off to Whitesides, looking to pick up a 1st down, and he does it well short. Down at the 25-yard line, so a stop there. 54 seconds and counting.
And it's rough. You have a choice. You can run the clock down, take a penalty, and then run the clock again, or you can give the ball back.
Eaglepass is going to get this football back with a little bit of time left. 10 on the game clock, 30 on the scoreboard and counting. 4. And the Cougars will go ahead and run this play. Whitesides, and he's not going to get this 1st down, Nathan. So it's going to be a turnover on downs. 19 seconds left in this one, Nathan, and it's going to come down to the final play. Eaglepass trails by 7. No timeouts left. Out comes Chiswick and their offense. 19 seconds left. Eagles trail by 7.
I think they're going to go out with the throwing play, Kevin. You need a lot of yardage, and you only have 19 seconds left on this clock. I think they're going to go out with the throwing play.
22-yard line, Chisholm out of the gun, looking back to pass, obvious passing, down, steps up, fires deep, down the field, up for grabs, intercepted by the Cougars. Cougars have the football, intercepted, crossing the 50, 45, down to the 40, 35, still on his feet, down to the 30, 25, 20. Edinburg North will advance to the area round, and they'll square off against Harlingen South. Edinburg North's defense finished this game in dramatic fashion, Nathan. Their defense stepping up big. 2 seconds to go. Edinburg North looking to get up into a victory formation to wrap this one up.
And I wouldn't expect anything less from such a team. They've been a dramatic team all year, and I expected a nice football game up here between them and the Eagles. So we're here in Alice, Texas with one more play to go. 2 seconds left.
So the final score is just 2 seconds away. Guerrero will take a knee. The final score here in Alice, Texas. Edinburg North survives a thriller, 27-20 over the Eaglepass Eagles. Harlingen South, Edinburg North in the next round. Nathan, let's go ahead and wrap this one up. What are your thoughts on this football game?
Well, a lot of flags out here for sure. Some really good offense, some really good defense. Both teams came out, they played their hearts out, and unfortunately there can never be two winners in life, and that's the case here. Cougars had to take home this win, and sadly Eaglepass has to go home with a loss. But either way, both teams had really nice throws, really nice runs, couple of interceptions, and it was not a boring night here. But when is it when you're watching a RGV football game?
Yeah, Edinburg North and Eaglepass have really played each other very well. Last year, the final score in that one was 21-14 at the Alamo Dome. This year's score, not so much different, rather the same, except a couple more points. Edinburg North escapes 27-20 20. Guerrero overcoming a couple of interceptions, one of them being a pick six, Nathan, and Edinburg North's defense really stepped up big. But I think the difference in that second half, what Edinburg North really doing what they do best, and that's running the football. So once again, we're going to wrap things up, fans. You're tuning in to ValleyCentral.com. I want to thank all of you for tuning in, whether you're an Eagle or a Cougar fan. So with the final score, Edinburg North 27, Eaglepass 20. I'm Kevin Otto. Nathan Menchaca right by my side. We're saying so long and good night from Alice, Texas.